Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 22, no Madden 23 rebuild. This is my first ever Madden 23 rebuild, and we are going to be doing it with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I've already messed up the intro, but I'm not going to go back to change it. I genuinely do not care that much. But this is the team that we got with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and as a Ravens fan, I'm happy to see that Kenny Pickett is not performing that well because I don't want him to dominate our division. But it's surprising that EA didn't even bother to give him star dev. Now, yes, Mitch Trubisky will most likely start the first year, but in all reality, you guys are all here for Kenny Pickett. And I'm going to start Kenny Pickett because he's just the younger guy. He's the guy we need to develop. He is the guy. He is that guy. And they didn't even face scan him into the game, which is a little disappointing considering he was pick number 20 in the draft. But yeah, we also got Najee Harris here, a huge breakout season from him upcoming with the QB situation, the receivers as well. Deontay Johnson is great. And then we also have Chase Claypool, who's solid as well. Miles Boykin, George Pickens. I really, really want to give him star dev because this dude has been a beast in training camp, but I'm not going to because I feel like people will get mad at me. I feel like he deserves star dev. He's been doing so well in training camp. I want to make sure he's our slot guy as well. He is our slot guy. Cameron Sutton, Larry Ogunjobi is here. Did he get cut from the team? I don't think so. I think he didn't get cut. Miles Jack, Devin Bush. Miles Jack still has superstar dev after that season with the Jaguars. That's interesting. All right, but Devin Bush, Miles Jack, TJ Watt should have got a 99 overall, but he got scammed out of it. Highsmith, is it Alex Highsmith? Yeah, it's Alex Highsmith. And then obviously the beast Minka Fitzpatrick. People will say he is the best safety in the league, which I can maybe agree with, but I would say whenever Derwin James is healthy and on the field, I would say Derwin James, but that's the problem. He's not always healthy and on the field, so I would say Minka Fitzpatrick after that. And then, of course, Casey Hayward. Stephon Tuitt recently retired. Doug Costin. I have no idea who you are at all. Never heard of you in my life. But Doug Costin. Should I cut Chris Wormley and start Doug Costin? No, he's fine the way he is. Larry Ogunjobi. I'm gonna start just because he has star dev, and he's gonna start regressing anyways. So it really doesn't matter if I start him. So let's just move him second string. But the DBs is where the weak suit of this team is, and the offensive line. Akilo Witherspoon is, I believe, is how you pronounce his name. Yeah, Akilo Witherspoon. And then you also have Cameron Sutton here. You used to have, who was it? Steve Nelson on the team last year, but I don't think he's here anymore. Got Levi Wallace. That's not very good. Tremaine Edmonds or Terrell Edmonds, my fault. And yeah, I'm gonna stop wasting my time trying to pronounce these names. Look at the specialists, see what we got. I didn't change any schemes or playbooks. We're running all Steelers playbooks here right now, just to see what they do in the first season. And apart from that, guys, it's time to get into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, guys. We are 1-6, bottom of the division. Yikes. I'm going to keep the auto-generator rookies. I'm not going to load in a real draft class because I think it's way too early to be determining draft classes. Because last year we all thought that Sam Howell was probably going to win the Heisman and he was going to be a first-round pick. He ended up falling, what, to the 5th round? Yeah, because we don't actually know what's going to happen. So we are 1-6, coming off a loss to the Dolphins here to face the 3-3 Philadelphia Eagles. Bottom of the division. Bengals are taking the division. Browns at 6-1. I think they probably auto-started Deshaun Watson because I moved him down the depth chart to make sure he didn't start. But they probably auto-started him and forced him anyways. But anyways, we are going to be going to players ready to negotiate here. And we have... No, I don't want that defensive tackle, Tyson Aluu. I don't know how you pronounce that last name, but please don't kill me in the comments for it. What's his age? Age 35. Okay, yeah, no. Terrell Edmonds, since he's 25, I actually will keep him on the team. I want to see if he goes for that deal. Let's spread out that contract a little bit more. And that's a good offer. Glad we got the deal done. Good stuff. Devin Bush has an interest in re-signing. I would love to have Devin Bush on this team for a long time. Up that money a little bit. And does he re-sign? Yes, he does. Cameron Sutton, not really interested. Larry Ogunjobi, no. Carl Joseph, no. Benny Snell, no. Miles Boykin, no. Justin Lane. He's actually kind of young. Maybe he could be a depth piece, but I don't really have that much of an interest in him. James Pierre, no. I'll try to re-sign Doug Costin whenever I can at week 9. Steven Sims is on this team now? I didn't even know that. Derek Watt, brother of TJ Watt, not very successful as the other Watts, like JJ Watt or TJ Watt. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. That's why I got negotiated. I think that's all I really want. I'll probably try and sign Costin in the offseason, but apart from that, guys, let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 5-12, bottom of the division. Offensive points per game was ranked 32nd, but defensive points per game was ranked 16th. We had a good passing defense and a good offensive rushing game, but yeah, we're going to try and switch that up maybe a little bit. Stats and awards, let's see what we got here. We got Kenny Pickett doing 16th best offense, second best defense in the NFL. 4,300 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That's not a horrible, that's not a horrible stat line. Just the touchdowns need to go up. Najee Harris, 9 touchdowns, 5.1 per carry is great. 1,500 yards, great season. Deontay Johnson, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. That may be an X factor. George Pickens, 6 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. That's guaranteed star development at least. He had a great year. Defensively, Miles Jack, 150 tackles, tackles for a loss, 21 for TJ Watt. Sacks, 14.5 for TJ Watt. Cameron Hayward with 13 interceptions, 3 for Devin Bush. And looking at it, safeties, 1 for TJ Watt and 1 for Larry Ogunjobi. And defensive touchdowns is 1 for Cameron Sutton. So I'm going to switch this up a little bit. I'm going to go to the roster, manage roster, adjust lineup. And I'm going to find a different offensive playbook because 32nd in points per game is not good. Let's go to vertical. Which one? That one has the best scheme fit. We're going to keep running with a 3-4. I like base 3-4 the best. What offense do we want to go to? I don't want to go to a high-powered passing offense, but I feel like that's usually the best in Madden. I can't really do anything. Let's go with Dallas offense. And defensively, I usually go with New England. If I can find it. Where's the any? There it is. And apart from that, guys, we're going to go back into the offseason past the Super Bowl to see if we got any development upgrades. So let's move into it. And Tom Brady reunions with his old team and humiliates Mac Jones in the Super Bowl and wins the Super Bowl MVP as well. That's probably should be his retiring point. That'd be a great storyline. Patrick Mahomes wins league MVP, the next GOAT up and coming. And then looking at it, the Steelers do not have any awards. Aiden Hutchinson wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Looking at the roster, let's see who we got here for the upgrades. Offensively, George Pickens does get started. No surprise there. I expected that. Kenny Pickett stays the same. Snell, I'm going to keep there. He's getting off the team anyways, right? He's on his final deal. Defensively, looking into it, Miles Jack is an X factor. Devin Bush no longer has that development. Okay, I forgot to turn off the dev trait regression thing. That shit's so annoying because it's so inaccurate most of the time. You're not going to tell me Mika Fitzpatrick just suddenly went in the dirt the next year. Yeah, I'm going to change their developments back to the way they were and move Devin Bush back up to a star development. And I also did sign him on that contract anyways, but still, I'm not just going to let them tank that out of nowhere. And I'm going to go change that setting right now, guys. I guess I didn't turn it off. Let's go to league settings here. And just, it's all out of whack. Most of the time, a player can perform really well, and the dev trait regression thing, it just completely tanks the entirety of the system. So hopefully a lot of players around the league didn't get affected by that too much. We're going to go to the adjust lineup here and see what we got. We got... So just George Pickens, Miles Jack, and it looks like that's about it. So we're going to have to focus on DBs here in this upcoming draft. Let's move into the re-sign players here and the retirements to see who we have to re-sign and retire, of course. Well, who is retiring? So let's see what we got if the game will ever load at any point near. Come on, I'm on the Xbox Series X. It should load faster than that. 2022 retirements. Let's look at the AFC North. And our defensive tackle, Tyson, retires. Calais Campbell, Justin Houston, and Joe Hayden all retire. So that's cool, I guess. Looking into the players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we have here. Cameron Sutton, Larry Ogunjobi, Carl Joseph, Miles Boykin. And yeah, this dude's development trait got stripped from him, and he doesn't even have interest in signing, so I won't even bother. So apart from that, guys, we have $53 million to spend in free agency. Let's get into it. So here we are after free agency. I ended up getting Jamel Dean, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Eric McCoy as a center, and Rashad Fenton. So I upped our DBs a lot, and I won't have to worry about that in the draft. So I'll probably focus on defensive tackle or left tackle in this upcoming draft, which will be a lot better for the team. And I also switched the team's defensive playbook back to Pittsburgh because, it worked so well last year. So why not do it again? And let's get into this draft. And with our first round picking, I'm picking up a left tackle at pick number 3, hidden development, and apparently I just got an achievement on my Xbox that says Stud Finder, so he could be really, really good, hopefully superstar out of Oklahoma State, and that's going to be our first pick. And in the second round, I'm picking up Walt Bulla as out of Boston College, hidden dev defensive tackle. He looks pretty solid. And this is the overlook of the team after the draft, as it looks like my first round pick, it was only a 70 overall, but at least he has star dev, so he's going to be the starter right out the gate. And yeah, where's my defensive tackle? He's obviously on the defensive side of the ball, and he's a 72, so he's not that bad of a pick either. And yeah, got a pretty good DB setup now. How old is Levi Wallace? He's 28. Interesting. Okay, so we got pretty good depth here. We got a little bit better of a defense than last season, in my opinion. And yeah, the offense has improved as well with Eric McCoy, the new left tackle. And yeah, George Pickens improving as well. And how old is Pat Freiermuth? 24 only. I thought he was a lot older than that. He looks a lot older than that. But anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move into the midseason mark, and hopefully we do better this season. Here we are at the midseason mark as our offense continues to struggle. It is the 28th in the league in points per game. We are 3-4. Maybe it is time to go back to that Cheese playbook and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playbook, or the Chiefs playbook. So let's see what we got. I'm not going to go with Dallas here. Let's go with the Tampa Bay playbook if I can ever find it at any point in the year, because there's 32 teams in the league. There we go. Tampa Bay's playbook, that works a little bit better. It seems like our defense is doing all right, but we are 3-4 and we are second in the division, but that can be taken at any time. Coming off a loss to the Cardinals. Let's go to the players ready to negotiate here and see who we have. We have the Miles Jack. He has really no interest in signing, but I'm going to try and spike up that money for him to try and get him to sign. Did he say he could find a better team? No. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to let you go like that. And apparently Chase Claypool wants a different team as well. Let's up this and up the money by a lot and see if he wants to stay. I couldn't even see if he wanted to stay, and he's not here, so I'm assuming he accepted. Levi Wallace, no. Don't want back. Alex Highsmith, I would like back. He has a semi-interest in coming back. Let's just make our custom offer, and he re-signs with the team. Good stuff. Kevin Dotson, I would like on the back on the team again. What's his interest of staying here? Let's see, where is he at? He has no interest, so we're going to have to spike this up for him by quite a bit, and I will spike it up for him. Let's see if he is. This is exactly the offer we wanted to get. Okay, good stuff. I did spike it up for him. Mitch Trubisky, no. Anthony McFarland, no. Is that Carlos Davis? I thought that was Carlton Davis. I was like, no, it's not. But, yeah, I need to prioritize getting Miles Jack back. That's a huge thing, but other than that, we're looking pretty good. So let's move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 7-10 as the offense continues to struggle, as it always does. Okay, stats and awards, let's see what we got. Kenny Pickett does not seem to be the guy, as he did not have another good season. 26th best offense and the 11th best defense. Kenny Pickett, 4,700 yards. Yikes, that's a lot of interceptions, but at least his touchdowns are improving. I'm not going to change him. I'm not going to replace the quarterback because, of course, a lot of people want to see Mitch Trubisky be successful, so I'll try to develop him the best I can. Najee Harris, 13 touchdowns, 4.7 per carry, and 1,200 yards. Good. Deontay Johnson, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. George Pickens, 5 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Chase Claypool, 1,000 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Looking at it defensively, Miles Jack, 155 tackles for a loss, 17 for Cam Hayward, sacks, 17.5 for TJ Watt, 12 for Cameron Hayward, interceptions, only one for a lot of people, safeties, 1 for Cameron Hayward, and defensive touchdowns is 0. At least our defense did pretty solid, but yeah, Kenny Pickett's not really doing that well. But let's move in to the offseason. And the Buccaneers beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl, and they have a new QB, Deshaun Archer. Looks like Tom Brady did retire after that Patriots Super Bowl win, and Deshaun Archer also wins the league MVP. Is he rookie? No. Is he? Yeah, and he's a rookie. He wins a Super Bowl MVP, a league MVP, and a Rookie of the Year all in the same year. That's kind of ridiculous, but all right then. But we're going to move into the roster here to see if we have any development upgrades. Offensively, looking into it, Kenny Pickett stays the same. Deontay Johnson is... Was he? No, he should have Superstar. I don't know why it does that. I guess I missed it the first time completely because I definitely turned off the development trait regression things. So he definitely should have Superstar. I'm going to keep him at Superstar. But nobody got an upgrade on offense. Our left tackle is only a star dev, unfortunately, but that's fine. Devin Bush got Superstar. Minka Fitzpatrick is now a star dev again. Why does it do this? I'm very sure I turned it off. I'm going to bring him back to Superstar again and see if they just screwed me over in the franchise settings. Let's see if I'm missing anyone in particular. It looks like our defensive tackle is only a star dev. Looks like we have some players with morale down. And yeah, I'm going to go change that again because for some reason it didn't work the first time. If EA already has glitches whenever this game comes out, it's very frustrating. Where is it? Did I pass it? No, I didn't. Should be on development trait regression, off. Breakout scenario, sure, off. Why is that? That's so stupid, bro. That's so stupid. It just keeps... Okay, I guess I have to do it every time because EA can't make a correct game. But we're going to move in to these recent players and see the retirements as well. I want to get Miles Jack back. I'm going to try and pay him a hefty deal. And I'm not going to worry about free agency because I think the team is honestly doing pretty good. I mean, yes, we're 7-10, but the team overall looks good. I'm just relying on Kenny Pickett to do his job. But 2023 retirements. Let's see what we got here for the AFC North. The Ravens offensive line basically retires. And looking into the players ready to negotiate here, who do we have? We have Miles Jack here again. We're going to offer him a fat deal. Hugely overpaying him. And did he want something bigger? No, he apparently accepted. I clicked too fast through that, but he accepted, got Miles Jack back. And I really don't think we need anything on defense. Offensively, we just really need Kenny Pickett to develop, but I'm going to jump into free agency. If I don't get anything in free agency, I'll just skip to the draft, but I'm just going to try to get a right tackle. In free agency, I ended up getting a right tackle in Austin Jackson, star dev. He's pretty young for the most part. Can I click on his player card? I can't see his age. This new free agency thing is kind of cool, but it's pretty annoying. Oh, there's the age. Okay, finally. I finally found where it was. This is a little bit hard to navigate sometimes whenever they come out with a new game every year, but anyways, let's get into the draft. In the draft, at pick number 10, I'm picking up a left end, James Meyer, hidden dev, 89 strength. He seems to be pretty good out of Florida State. And here we are after the draft. This is what the team looks like going into the next year. Austin Jackson, for some reason, wants to play left tackle instead of his designated position like I assigned him to. So we're just going to cut our right tackle here. Well, he's a left tackle as well, and for some reason, just play the position I asked you to play, dude. It's that simple. There you go. Thank you. And, yeah, the offensive line, it needs some developing. Apparently, the CPU picked up this guy named McKinney. Hopefully he can be good. I'll move him up in the depth chart so that way he gets some reps maybe. Meyer is a 76 overall, so that's turned out to be a great pick as the defensive line and our pass rush is totally stacked. And Webster is apparently a DB that the CPU picked in the draft. Trying to get him a little bit more reps as well. And yeah, team is looking pretty good. So apart from that, guys, it's time to get to the midseason mark. I mean, Kenny Pickett, you are literally the only thing that is holding this team back right now. Please develop. Let's get to the midseason. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 5-2, top of the division. Kenny Pickett's finally waking up, coming off a loss to the division rivals, the Baltimore Ravens. Go Ravens. Looking in it, Cameron Hayward has no interest in signing. Looks like we're going to have to give him a very player-friendly deal, and he resigns. Deontay Johnson, going to have to give him a very player-friendly deal as well, and he resigns. Giving Pat Freiermuth just a friendly deal, player-friendly deal, and he re-signs as well. James Daniels, I would like to re-sign. Put him on a 5-year, up the money just a little bit, and he re-signs as well. Eric McCoy, I thought I put him on a longer deal than that in free agency. He says he doesn't want to negotiate. Okay, I'll get that in the offseason. Eric McCoy needs to come back. Kendrick Green, I don't need. Okafor, I don't need as well. And everyone else here is just not really relevant to me, so I don't need the rest of them either. And apart from that, guys, it is now time to move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, actually making the playoffs as we're coming off a loss to the Commanders, aka the Redskins. And yeah, we won the division, 11-6. Ravens and Browns missed. It looks like the Bengals snuck in at 10-7. Here to face the 9-8 Las Vegas Raiders. But yeah, let's see these stats and awards. Hopefully Kenny Pickett was actually decent, and he was great. Most passing touchdowns in the NFL, 6th most passing yards, 5th best offense in the NFL, and 11th best defense. Let's see if he's in the MVP talk. Tua wins MVP, that will never happen. Never happen. Kenny Pickett, top 5 for MVP. Kenny Pickett, 5,100 yards, 45 TDs, 13 interceptions, great year. Najee Harris, 16 touchdowns, 5.4 per carry, 1,400 yards. He's doing great. Deontay Johnson, 1,700 yards, 117 receptions. That should be an X factor for sure. And 9 touchdowns. Chase Claypool, 9 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. And George Pickens, almost 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. George Pickens is doing pretty good. He's doing pretty solid. And Miles Jack, 150 tackles for a loss, 19 for TJ Watt, sacks, 17 for TJ Watt, 12 for James Meyer, the rookie, who's doing great. Cameron Hayward with 10 sacks as well. We have so many sacks on this team. Alex Highsmith only getting 3. Interceptions, 4 for Sean Murphy. Bunting, safeties is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to see if we can beat the Las Vegas Raiders to move on to the divisional round. Usually the wild card isn't the problem. It's usually the divisional round. And yes, we do win 38-24. Here to face the 11-6 Indianapolis Colts. Can we beat them to move on to the conference championship? And we don't. It's always the divisional round, bro. I swear. It's always the divisional round. Anyways, let's move in to the offseason. And the Giants, with their new QB, Jake Pritchard, wins the Super Bowl 37-24. Tua wins league MVP. Don't get your hopes up, Dolphins fans. Never gonna happen in real life. James Meyer wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we should have at least Superstar Dev is what I'm expecting, because most of the time whenever a player wins Rookie of the Year, they get X Factor. EA gives them X Factor. Kenny Pickett gets Star Dev. No surprise there. McKinney came with Star Dev. CPU drafted that guy. Deontay Johnson, for those of you guys whining, I'm going to give him X Factor. You guys are going to be like, oh, you're cheating. I'm not cheating at all. 117 receptions, had a beastly year. You're not going to tell me he doesn't get Superstar X Factor. I don't care if he wasn't labeled as top 5 or whatever in the league. That is a god tier receiver. 1,700 yards, 117 receptions. Yes, he didn't get double-digit touchdowns, but he's averaging 103 yards a game. That's ridiculous, dude. You're not going to be like, oh, you're cheating. I don't care, dude. He had a great season. Defensively looking into it, Meyer has superstar dev. That's sick. Sean Murphy Bunting now has superstar dev as well. And yeah, team is looking pretty nice. So I'm going to use all my money that I have left trying to re-sign and maintain my players. So I'm not going to really bother with free agency. And also, we don't really need anything with this team anymore. There's nothing specifically that I like desperately need. Maybe I'll get a strong safety, but I won't look for that in free agency. I'll probably just go and trade my first round pick for it. So let's go to the AFC North and look like another part of the Ravens offensive line just continues to crumble and players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we have here. Eric McCoy. He wanted a lot more money, so let's up this a lot, and he resigns. Good stuff. And yeah, we should be all good. I'm not going to bother with free agency. Like I said, I'll probably, since this is the fourth and final year that we get into, I'm going to go and just burn all my draft picks and trade them away for something. So let's get to the draft. And with that, it is accepted. We are trading our first round pick away for Budda Baker, the strong safety from the Cardinals. And yeah, it seems pretty good to me. It's the fourth and final year. Might as well go all out. And I don't need anything else with this team, so I'm just going to get to the end of the draft. And here we are going into the fourth and final year. It looks like the CPU picked up this guy, Bartel. And yeah, the team is looking very nice, very clean. And looking at it defensively, this is what we got. Looks like the CPU drafted that guy as well. And ooh, CPU drafted a pretty good free safety. Very good free safety, probably in the second round. Defensively, Budda Baker's only a star dev, probably because the dev trait regression thing around the league. And apart from that, guys, I would say it's now time just to skip into the playoffs because we don't need to re-sign anybody at the midseason mark. And, oh, I have to skip into the next week first, but you know what I mean. Anyways, let's get to the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs going at 7-10. That's EA for you. I improve my team. I keep the same schemes, same playbooks. And they're like, yeah, sure, 7-10 this time. Dude, this is stupid. Kenny Pickett goes back to being mediocre. 20th best offense in the NFL. 12th best defense. One up year. I mean, this isn't horrible, but 2 touchdowns to an interception is not the best ratio. Najee Harris continues to be a beast. He's probably going to be the thumbnail. Deontay Johnson continues to be a beast. And, yeah, looking at it defensively, Miles Jack, good. Tackles for loss. 20 for James Meyer. We have a great rookie. TJ Watt, probably a record-breaking sack right there. I think the record was 22.5 before. Amazing. Cameron Hayward, a beast. Looking at Miles Jack, 4 interceptions. Safeties, 1 for James Meyer. And defensive touchdowns is 1 for Miles Jack. James Meyer seems to be a beast, but we continuously get screwed. This is the final overlook of the team. This is the team that could make the playoffs. EA, fix your game. If this type of a team can't make the playoffs with no injuries, then you're cracked. There is something way wrong with your game if it continues to do this. It was like this all last year too. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Even though it was an unsuccessful rebuild, just let me know down in the comments below which team you'd like me to rebuild next, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.